For our next segment, we have the battle-hardened veterans of the cyberspace here to propagate on Zero Trust and the importance of continuous enforcement. So leaders, of course, you know the drill, you know how things work at 𝐂𝐲𝐻. As and when we take a name, kindly come on up and answer a one-line question in a one-line answer format only. The speakers, we'll start off with Mr. Yogesh Khairnar, the Deputy General Manager, IT Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution. Sir, a big round of applause for Mr. Yogesh. And while the networking session was going on, there is a, sir, we cannot let you sit so easily. Please, sir, please get up. We've been told that Mr. Yogesh is an excellent dancer.
Oh, thank you.
Sir, so एक step
Not
from
now.
your
Not
favorite.
now. We'll have some evening event sometime. That time we'll.
Sir,
do it.
one step, everybody will join. Just one step.
No. Let other people to come inside, then we'll start.
Done, sir. Done. But whenever you feel comfortable, just teach us one step and we will copy.
Okay.
Everybody will copy.
You can follow me.
Ha, done.
Okay.
Right now.
Play some music. No problem.
Arre. Any music, just one step, sir. Not the entire song, just one. What is your favorite step that you would want to teach us?
Bravo,
Arre, baap re.
DJ, bravo, champion.
Anybody who wants to join?
Everybody knows, say bravo, a champion.
Oh my God!
Champion. Everybody know Chris Gayle is a champion. Dini a champion, Bounty a champion, Marshall is a champion, Bungie is a champion, Follan is a champion, Lara is a champion, Gayle is a champion. Don't forget, Michael Jordan, Obama a champion, Mandela a champion.
Sir.
It was unexpected.
Sir, you work at Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution and that was an electrifying performance. A big round of applause for Yogesh sir. What a sport, sir. Thank you so much. Absolutely. I mean, this is the start to the session. If this is the start, I am eagerly waiting for the entire session. Fantastic. There's a lot of pressure on the other speakers, by the way. Okay. Next.
Nikki, I have zero trust with you. You didn't follow me.
Sir, how do I cannot even think of matching that step, sir. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Yogesh sir. By the way, Yogesh sir, you've set the bar for all the speakers now. They have to either match it or do better, which is a little difficult, but theek hai. Okay, moving on to our next leader. Our next leader is Mr. Pradipta Patro, the head of cyber security RPG group, KEC International Limited. Patro sir, I don't know what is it that you would want to do to match that bar, sir? Anything?
See, I do most of time adventurous trekkings and all. So next target is base camp of Everest.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, हम आपको बोलते कि do one trekking step, but I think what do we do? Fantastic. So we've got this brilliant dancer. We've got a future potential, which we are sure, Mount Everest climber. Fantastic. And now, for the gentleman with the toughest task, Mr. Abhishek, Mathur, GM, ICT Services, Wartsila. Mr. Mathur, tough. What is it that you would do to sort of counter-attack the brilliant Dance India Dance winner and Mount Everest climber? What is it that you would want? What is that takkar ki cheez?
A very difficult question when Yogesh is around, because I had been with Yogesh on so many events and we drove all the way to Lonavala just to have breakfast other day. So I like a lot of walking, so I probably someday I'll walk all the way to Europe from here.
What are these? Our leaders are very extreme with the choices. Fantastic, my God. Walking till Europe. Brilliant.
Spain, yes.
Wow. It'll cost you a lot less as well, I'm sure. Fantastic. Leaders, what a privilege to have all of you with us. Stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you everyone for getting in. And I'm sure it was Yogesh who brought everyone in with his fiery dance before this fire chat we have on Zero Trust. So we had a lot of good sessions on Zero Trust as such. We had been hearing it's more of a concept, it's more of an idea which has built over the years, and I think many, many years things have come together, and now we are at that point. Talking to you, Yogesh, primarily, how do you see Zero Trust as a concept? Is it a new concept, or especially because you come from a PSU sector, I think it's Maharashtra's biggest PSU.
Since morning these sessions are going on and everybody is talking about security, Zero Trust security. And I also thought that John Kindervan in 2010, he developed this model, Zero Trust security, but that's not true actually. It's a 450 years back model. Our great Shivaji Maharaj, he has developed this model, identity management system. I remember one poem of Shivaji Maharaj. When I was in the school, I used to sang that poem. That was, खबरदार जर टाच मारुनी जाल पुढे उडविन चिंधड्या राई राई एवढ्या. So there were two Mavaras, Savla and Mavla. They stopped Shivaji to enter in the castle. They don't allow Shivaji Maharaj. They asked Shivaji Maharaj to prove his identity, and they sung the poem. This is the poem actually. So this is the very old model, I think. Identity access management is since from Shivaji Maharaj, I think. Is it?
Yeah, 4.5 centuries old, guys, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So this is not new what we are learning, but just refreshing our thoughts. You set the tone, Yogesh, but considering that you are from the PSU sector and there are two aspects to the game where you have one side which is the end user, the consumers, and the second side is your infrastructure security, infrastructure per se. So talking about the consumer aspect, you have got workforce all over Maharashtra in the remotest areas. They're collecting data from the meters and other stuff. So how do you leverage on security, especially when it comes to sensitive data, especially the sensitive data when it comes to workforce, which is like spread all over from the targeting attacks? Because I'm sure their devices are on public networks, right?
Yeah. Their devices are on the public network. I'll give one small example of meter reading application. Everybody thinks that my meter reading is wrong. Everyone thinks when your high bill is coming, everyone using too much electricity during the lockdown period. The March was very hot, March, April, May, 3 months. So the bill is almost double. So people have doubt about the bills, but bills are almost correct because we have control on meter reader, because we are using Zero Trust security approach with the meter readers. They are having their own devices, BYOD concept is there, and meter reading is completely outsourced activity. So in meter reading, they have multi-factor authentication, username, password, then OTP goes on his mobile number, as will the device that he is using, that is also unique. And meter reader has to go and take the correct reading. Whatever reading meter reader is taking, our back office is also checking that meter reading. So what meter reader can do malpractice, either one way, he take a photo of a wall and put some reading. So that is wrong. Another thing, suppose he sit in some place in a village and he takes, enters some 100 readings sitting in one place. Then also is captured because of the GIS location. From one GIS location, if he is entering 100 reading, that is also doubtful. For urban area like Bhandup, Mulund area, if 500 reading are fed sitting in one location, then we fire the meter reader. But when meter reader is fired, it is not easy for him to come into our system because his Aadhaar number is with us, his mobile number is with us, his mobile IME number is also with us. What he tried to do, he tried to get Aadhaar card of some chaiwala, rickshawala or some kamwali bai and put some dummy name, but he cannot use the same device because we blacklist all these things. So that is the Zero Trust approach for meter reading agency. And suppose meter reader, unfortunately, he can't come to you and he can't take the reading. Suppose reading is there, then we trust the consumer. We allow consumer to enter the reading. So there are two ways. First is our mobile application for consumer, where consumer can go in front of meter, take the photo and upload the meter photo. There also we check GIS location. Their location is also not matching. We say that no, the location is wrong, meter reading location, that lat longs are wrong. So we reject the reading. Alternate option, from registered mobile number, consumer can submit the reading, but the mobile number should be registered. So everybody in our system is trusted because of this identity, either mobile number or his device or even GIS location, lat long like location. So that way we have implemented. This is a small example actually. Pavitra, can you add something to this?
Yeah, of course. The way Yogesh has already set the tone for contest for this zero trust, and starting from not only like for this today's Jagran words is the zero trust, though it is for longer like decade or might be that so many years we had this kind of concept in place. Today zero trust, what we are talking about is you have to not trust to anybody. Whether you can talk about user side of it, zero trust in user side of it, zero trust on your network side of it, zero trust in your application side of it, zero trust in your cloud side of it. So there should be end-to-end zero trust. We don't need to trust anybody. We trust the people, right? But we don't trust like everything, whatever it is there from the systems today we talk about. So again, that is that identity access management is a key component of zero trust today. If you see zero trust, it is not a something point solution what we talk about. It is most at the framework. In the framework, we have to touch upon like every cases that the way Yogesh has highlighted, the person to be have the devices, the profile, user profile, who's entering the data, the geolocations, again like coming to your network, is that it encrypted? Then again coming to the application front end, then again it is the application we have to zero trust, we have to validate, verify all those pointers here. Then again, while you're doing such, then we should have also have most of the users, basically the device side of it, user side of it, network side of application side of it, and as well as the cloud. Ultimately, it goes to somewhere and it will reside there for your all the billing purpose, right? So all the data, whatever you store, that should be also should have the privacy, because today the world is coming toward the privacy laws. So today the consumer data, whatever we take, either B2B or B2C, definitely we should protect our consumer interest in the data, what you are storing in your storage or might be in the cloud or on-prem, wherever it is. So that is where we have to follow the complete end-to-end comprehensive, the zero trust. It should be in place. That is what my thought is in zero trust.
Very, very well said,
Thank you.
Debajit. But primarily, talking about cloud, I think the risk factor for any CISO is that data while resting or in transit, whether you mentioned about cloud. So how do you see that zero trust approach to secure the cloud, hybrid cloud environments as such?
Okay, very interesting. Today, everybody is adopting the cloud, whether it is a private, public, or on-prem. It is a hybrid we are talking about. So definitely, this is the way we can take this forward. Nothing can be moved. Everything cannot be moved to cloud, whether it is a public or private cloud. So in this regards, hybrid cloud is way forward, and we cannot eliminate our on-prem footprint, whatever we have today. Definitely, there should be again, all that solution is the SASE framework. Again, bringing to this table, zero trust is okay, part of it. However, the SASE framework, it will cover you end to end. Whether it is on-prem or it is a cloud A or cloud B or it is a hyperscaler, whatever, it should be seamless visibility you should have, and all the controls should be in place. The controls are what exactly it is you are talking about. Whether it is I can tell about the controls is simple is the 4-letter word. That is IAAA, means IAAA, that I can tell you. I is for identifications, A for your authentications, another A is for your authorizations, and third for A is of yours is audit and audit and controls on those perspectives. So this IAA is play the role, whether you can talk about on-prem, hybrid, or any hyperscaler you can talk about. So this is completely the solution is around AAA, nothing else. The IAM is also, this is the concept we derive from IAM, Identity Access Management, where the zero trust, or you have your SASE framework, the Identity Access Management system plays a crucial role. Today, you are not talking about moral of the people will be working for your on-prem. It is always it is the parameter or the perimeter has been moved out. There is no boundary on the perimeter today. So users or employees or third party, whoever it is, the way you said, location, certain places, third party, you are handing over our crucial or critical processes to handing over to them to perform. So we need to ensure that that particular place, whether we have to do the profiling part of it, whether it is a user profiling or you have device profiling, so that user can access anything from anywhere and any device. That is the concept it has come up now. And the workspace today, what we are talking about is no more within an on-prem, no more within an on-premises. It is completely moved out of any there is no boundary over there. So to ensure this particular piece, what you are talking about the zero trust, or you are talking about the workspace, definitely this is a hybrid, like, workspace we have to consider. And the controls we have to plug in from end to end. And the profiling and posturing is the key here. Through that identity access management, we have to perform that, and the solution around, we can stitch upon the solutions wherever I talk about users, again, network, application, cloud, and transit, and data in rest. We have to focus on those perspectives. That is my thought. Yes, Yogesh, we can have some add on to this.
What I can add to this is that for end user, that activity is seamless. He don't know whether he is working on-prem or in the cloud server. Because once he log in, he is authorized, he is able to access the things that whatever credential he has been given, that is single sign-on concept. So we are having the same thing. Once user log in into the system, he is able to access the consumer complaint, billing complaints, or even if he want to see the collection details of the offices down the line to his office, hierarchically, not other offices. Likewise, we have designed the system. So our administration, it took around 3 to 4 years to implement the thing. We use the piecemeal approach. In one day, it is not possible because till yesterday, I was logging to the server, I was running some query and getting some details. So this is my report. But the next day, it can't be stopped. So in the piecemeal approach, we have implemented the system because this is not possible in one day or 1 month or 1 week activity. Because our was a big organization to implement the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, very well said. Since morning, we had all the speakers have been talking about diminishing of perimeter. You also could touch upon Pradipta. But Yogesh, how do you see any practical challenges with the zero trust architecture, especially the kind of spread you have people all in the remotest part of the world as such. So any thoughts about it?
Yeah. Practical challenge. There are practical challenges for zero trust security implementation, but one should not give up because this is the very good security system. Everybody has to go ahead with this. So the first challenge that just now I told, the piecemeal approach should be there. Because yesterday I was doing something and the next day it is stopped and I am asked to log in. And when I log in, I am not able to access the thing right the way because administration part of it is very difficult because there are so many users, every user's all credentials, his roles, as per the manual system, they have to bring back to your Active Directory. We are using Microsoft Azure product. So their Active Directory, it takes some time. That is one more hurdle. And the second thing, people are evolving. Organization, people are changing. One person moves from one location to other location. So the next day, what happens? If you try to log in and do some activity with his new role, the next day it doesn't become possible. So in HRMS system, whatever the user roles, we are updating periodically to that. But still there are some problems. Because people are having cell phone numbers. I have 2 engineers. One is working in Vasai and one is working in Nerus. If they transfer, sometimes they have register their own mobile number. Some people are using the mobile number of that place. The mobile number doesn't change, sometimes change. Some people, they use their personal mobile number. So the password doesn't go, OTP doesn't go to them the right way. And the second thing, the escalation of complaints. Suppose power failure is there somewhere in the area. He doesn't come to know because his credentials are not properly updated. So in that case, in the evening time, suppose the power goes off and he could not manage the resource and restore the supply, that is our business loss also. Because in Vashi or Nehru-like area, our ROR is 11 rupees per unit on an average. So there is 4 hours power breakdown and we could not restore in the time. That is our business loss also. That is also one problem.
Absolutely, because you're selling power.
Yeah. So what I feel personally, one should not go in the binary approach, that is a VPN system, and the second day you go for this zero trust model. Neither zero, neither one. You find a midway in between. Those mission critical applications, sensitive data, for that you definitely implement this zero trust security. But for the system, those are open. Suppose he want to change his change of name. He purchased a flat in Mulund area, resale flat. He want to do change of name. So that is open part of system. He can go to our web self-service, create an application. He will get an application ID that will come to our CRM system, will go to local office. They will verify the document. But such type of system, that should be kept open. So if stringently I try to bring everything in zero trust model, so that is not practicable for big organization like us, because you also wanted me to explain something for a very big organization. There are so many stakeholders, right from the tribal area, Adivasi people like Akkalpada, then Shahada, Nandurbar area, and our stakeholders are up to Adani Group. The government of Maharashtra, Energy Minister, Regulatory Commission, so many people are our stakeholders. So we cannot go very stringently. So these are some difficulties. So that is my opinion. One should not be binary.
I can understand 4 hours of not supplying power. That's a direct business loss. It's hitting your top line, and unfortunately, people are also tagging the power minister and the chief minister that, okay, there is no power, right? So, yeah. Next thing which very interesting to me, and I'm sure many people who are wearing multiple caps like CIOs also, along with CISO, is Pradipta, how do you see that people leveraging on the existing investments? When we are talking of zero trust, and Yogesh just said that one size doesn't fit all, right? So how are we? How is the industry leveraging on the kind of investments they have already done?
Yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden we cannot change our complete infrastructure. There's a lot of capital investment, or we have to be planned, budgeted year-on-year basis, because everything is the organization to be profitable, right? Everything you cannot change at one time for the just sake of security, zero trust, or might be SASE framework. You have to leverage our existing infrastructure, or might be the way I said, the zero trust is a framework. It is not a point solution we have to bring into the firewall, just setting up firewall or setting up a ADR or something that it is become your zero trust. No, exactly not. You have to have the proper strategy in place, where you have to leverage what of the solution today we have. Okay, starting from your EDR perspective, I'm just giving you one of example of it. You have to build up your system accordingly, so that the journey has to be started, and journey has to be aligned with the business, and whatever the technology already we have invested, and that has to be protected through think through. Today, if I'm talking about let's say large manufacturing plant, let's say, or the subfloor, or might be supply chain side of it, I can't change my OT environment all of a sudden, because it's a legacy system. Definitely, that is a challenge. It is a highly capex investment on those perspective. But it doesn't suffice for your zero trust. Doesn't mean that I have to change everything on that first year or second year. So it should be planned, think through, and there should be a proper strategy in place up to how much you can have to achieve in this particular year, then second year, third year, and you can put the control around it. It doesn't mean that you have to live like that. I'll give you a typical example. Today we have all electrical cars, the EV cars. It doesn't mean, it should not look like, there should be in the car should have coolant. That should not be required, right? But I can leverage the tires and other part of it. But engine is not same what you can see. That is where it is. The zero trust will be bringing the new phrase, looking to the IA, MLs, all those are, and user behavioral analysis. Those components are already in place now, and other companies or organizations already started those investing on those perspective. So we need to think through that, and not that older the car what I'm telling about. You don't look into the silencer in that electric cars. So we have to think about that new look, how and what we have already invested, and how we can transitioning that in the phase manner. That is what we can think about for the investment protection, protecting that investment what we have done so far. But of course, there is a challenge of this budget. There is a capital investment on the OT side of it. But if you talk about B2C, of course, there is a wherever it is a business priority, it is not fit for all. Like, with the business priority, we can have those investment as soon as possible because the journey has started. The digitization is already happening across the industry, not only for manufacturing side of it. We have the BFSI industry, we have healthcare industry. Those is already happening. If I can take an example of like, Colonial Pipeline or Taiwan Electricity Board, which has been stopped for certain time. Like, some of the hours has been lost. A lot of business has been lost. The billings has been stopped for certain days. So this is what we need to look into those perspective, how and what business we are in and how fast we can adopt the zero trust framework or the SASE framework into your systems along with your business. And it is the strategy, what the business strategy equivalent to your cyber security strategy it should be. That is what I can feel. And definitely leveraging the existing investment. We are not going to change complete paradigm to that one stage where not possible at all for the organizations because every organization we have to do the profits. That is the ultimate objective of the organizations.
Very well said.
Thank you so much.
Very well said. I think the only flip side is by the time you change everything, something new will come, right?
Exactly.
So that's a continuous process of adaptation and upgradation.
Cybersecurity is a marathon basically. You have to run always for and you have to see the destinations where it is. There is no destination without we have to keep on running. You have to keep on upgrade yourself. And most crucial thing, before I conclude my thing, is the people today. Today, if you talk about most of the incidents is happening through the people side of it. Today, the social engineering, the phishing, smishing, all those things are happening. And around 47% people have been in the trap of this. Today, if you talk about in India, if you have 72% people our organizations already the data been breached or might be they have been attacked through this ransomware. Hope everybody is agree on that. That is what is happening today. So that is where we would like to see how fast we can put the control in place and how the zero trust can be adopted faster. It will be better for those organizations as well. But it doesn't mean that after investing, we are protected 100%. Because it's a marathon, we have to keep on running, keep on updating yourself, people side of it.
Thank you very much, Pradipta. Nikita, do we have a minute or two to have 1 minute, and can we have one or two questions from the audience?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 1 minute. We've got the last 1 minute. So we'll take in one question. Any question? Oh.
Hi, so this is Kshitij from Sanofi, and I look after mainly OT security. My question is to Yogesh, sir, because I think we have the similar field. So you see, in the digitization, when we discuss about a lot has been transferred, right, to the digitization. And we are coming up with the smart devices, IoTs, and artificial intelligence. And see, in case of electricity, there's so much stealing of electricity by putting the wires on the poles. And so how this thing is being detected? Is there something new that is coming in the future that will detect whatever is being generated and whatever is being delivered, and there is a gap? And how do we identify those gaps? Like area, you talk about location-based identity and everything, right? So how is this gap will be eliminated in the future? I'm sure not right now. But
So primarily power theft you are talking about, right?
So we called it as energy losses. There are two types of losses: techno-commercial losses. Technical loss we are talking about. Commercial loss means people are not paying. So technical loss, we are computing it from substation to feeder level, feeder to distribution transformer, and from transformer to individual consumer level. But our approach up to transformer level is okay. But in rural area, hooking is too much actually. So that is the problem. So to overcome, we monitor the feeders actually, whatever the ampere load of the feeder. Suppose the feeder load is 250 ampere, it goes. So approximately calculation, suppose it is a 2 megawatt connections are there, and legal connections are 2 megawatt, and in practical, the substation feeder is showing 2.5 megawatt load, means 500 kilowatt load is unauthorized. So we do some drives there, and we catches the hooks and do some police cases. But once this is finished, again people start hooking in the rural area. That is the problem. So to overcome that, we started with high tension consumers. The meters are installed with modem. Every time we are monitoring vigilantly whether the CT, PT current voltages are missing. And in that case, we also check up with substation data. If this feeder itself is under breakdown or under maintenance, it's okay. Otherwise, we send our people and check something is, if something wrong is going on there, then we assess the consumer. So likewise, things are there.
Fantastic answer. Unfortunately, so we are running out of time. We're a little short on time. Can we?
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately. Sir, we would love for you to connect. Sir, oh, what's your name, sir? Mr. Prashant, we would love for you to connect with our speakers as much as we'd love for the questions and the answers to begin and to happen. But we're running really short on time. Thank you so much, leaders.
Thank you very much.
What a pleasure to have you. And electrifying, absolutely electrifying session is how we'd like to label it. And leaders, please do connect with Mr. Prashant. He's got a wonderful question waiting for you.
I think we can put our tags.